win over South Carolina and ranked Alabama, keeping the Gators near the top of the SEC race. That's your 1010XL local sports update. I'm Sam Nelson.
Right now, 44 degrees at 10:01. Time and 10 brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
Parker Washington!
Parker backs up, fields it at the 15-yard line. Made a man miss, 25-yard line, 30-yard line. That's a good return by Parker Washington. Still on speed, 50, 40, 30, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown!
Parker Washington did exactly what he was doing at the end of the season all through training camp. He was balling.
Parker Washington open field, 50, 45, 40, 30, along the right sideline. Cuts it back to the middle of the field, 20, 15, now back to the right side, to the 10-yard line. Parker Washington to the 10-yard line of the Denver Broncos.
Just done an awesome job with every opportunity he's gotten, and now you look at his role and what he's been doing for our offense. It's been huge, and just his ability to run every route, to run after the catch, all those hidden yards that he's finding after the catch has been really big for us. So we got to continue to find ways to get him the ball.
Caught for the touchdown! The ball's going to be caught! Touchdown! Caught for the touchdown! Parker Washington caught it in the left corner of the end zone.
I feel like a big thing for me too is that connection with Trevor. Continue to see that grow, continue to get closer with him. It would be nice to continue to build that connection and continue to become closer, not just as a teammates, but hopefully we can be closer friends as well. That helps.
He's one of the first guys in the building every single day. He's soft-spoken. He's quiet on the quiet side. He doesn't really talk smack. He doesn't really say a ton all the time. He just does, and he's a baller.
Running room for Parker Washington, 45, 40, 30, along the right sideline. Parker Washington, he's going to bring it back. Parker Washington, touchdown Jacksonville.
When you get those opportunities and you make the most of them in the rooms that you're not in, and those conversations they had with the quarterback and the head coach, the one who called the plays, they're going to start dialing specifically for you. Understanding what your strengths are and what you're good at and what you can do, they're going to put the ball in your hands.
Parker Washington is an absolute stud.
Now, Jaguars Today on 1010XL with Mike Dempsey, Fat Tony, and RJ Saunders.
All right, here we go. Striving not to call RJ Saunders Tyler Devitt today. Welcome in to Jaguars Today. Mike Dempsey and Tony Smith, along with RJ Saunders. Good morning, Tony.
Good morning.
How are things?
All good.
Super Bowl week, just puttering right along. And honestly, it's not. Maybe it's always been this way for a lot of people, but I felt yesterday, I was like, wait a minute. Isn't tonight opening night for the NFL? So I went to ESPN, to the website, nothing on it. On the front, nothing. On the NFL page, there was nothing on it.
Yeah.
On television, now maybe they had it on ESPN News. Maybe they put it all on NFL Network because they're buying NFL Network. I don't know how that's working, but I just felt like there was very little buzz. Maybe it's because this is not the most buzz-worthy Super Bowl of all time, or maybe it's just one of those things that if you're not thinking about it, it's there, but it's not front of mind. I don't watch it generally. You get the highlights because what are you watching? A cacophony of jumping here, jumping there, the other place. I was just surprised at how little, I guess, hype or how much that I didn't hear about it leading into it last night.
Yeah, I didn't see much of anything basically anywhere, coming out of it. I saw, the only thing I saw even coming out of the whole event last night was Drake May basically said, I'm fine.
Yeah.
That's it?
I'll be fine.
Yeah.
What else
Which
is you
I
going
don't
to say, by
expect
the way?
players to have a whole bunch of breaking news. I mean, you and I obviously went and covered plenty of these events, and the reason we were in the room was because there were, players that used to play in Jacksonville or had some kind of Jacksonville connection, right, like that kind of thing, or players that were potential free agents. We wanted to get in their ear a little bit about Jacksonville was part of why.
Or they went to Florida, Miami, Florida State, Georgia.
Connection, right, to the people here in Jacksonville. That's why we were in the room talking to anyone that was in there. And look, we're not there, so we're not getting the opportunity to do any of that. But we were never in the room because we were super pumped about all the guys playing in the Super Bowl. It was Okay.
Well, it was pointless
opportunity.
for guys like us to try to cover anything at one of those podiums.
Yeah.
Maybe you get one question in.
Unless
at
you're
one of the
E.T.
podiums.
and Richard Sherman comes off the podium to give you a
That's
hug.
a different story,
Yeah.
right? If you have a personal connection with
Yeah.
a player. But, I mean, you could stand there and maybe you'll get a question in.
Yeah.
Maybe. In an hour, you'll get one question to one player. And is that worth that? Or we'd knock out 14,
Yeah.
short interviews with players.
The first Super Bowl that I got to go and cover was the Ravens were in New Orleans.
Okay.
Right? That was the deer
The
antler
deer
spray.
antler spray, yes.
Right? So, and that's when they still had it split up. It was in the morning on Tuesday or whatever it used to be, right?
Uh-huh.
So we were over in the dome where the game was going to be played, and I walked into that room, and everybody in the media is at the Ray Lewis podium.
Yes.
Right? Like everybody.
Why would you go near it?
Right. Like it was just like, well, I can't even get within 10 bodies of Ray Lewis.
And now it all streams live.
Yeah.
Everything, but back then you would have had to wait, 30 minutes to get a full transcript of everything he said anyway. Yeah, that was the old pub crawl Super Bowl, wasn't it?
That was the pub crawl.
That
And
was
that
the
was
pub
the day
crawl.
after the pub crawl.
Ooh.
Yeah. So that I remember anything from, it's kind of a miracle.
That was rough. Your boy lost it.
I did.
RJ, right there on the bar.
I did.
At Drago's.
Yeah.
If you ever been to New Orleans, fantastic blackened oysters. Tony got one whiff.
I was fine until the whiff. Yeah.
And then the whiff came. It was all over.
It was
at
over.
that point in time.
And it's such a New Orleans thing, too, because it was all over the bar.
All over the bar.
And the bartender was just like,
Well, he's like, here's the towel.
What?
Like, can we get you anything else?
It smells
You want
bad?
You want it to go bag? No, it
No,
was.
they're
it
just
was
used
we're
to
on a
that kind
pub
of thing
crawl.
happening.
Okay, we're on a
Yeah.
pub crawl, and like every place you went, you spent $5 at each establishment, and they had a signature cocktail that you would get. Like whatever that lemon drop one was really good. But anyway, we went the last place you go is Drago's, which is known for their blackened oysters. I guess that's what they told me in New Orleans, right? So all right. So the one we go right before that, they've got something with a big slice of red bell pepper in it. Did you have that one?
I had two of them.
You had two of them. Well, that's the problem, right? By that time, I don't know, we might have skipped one stop along the way. We might not have found one of them. And
I'm not much of a drinker anyway, but that one for whatever reason. And it's different liquor at every spot.
Yes. So you're mixing all this stuff. So by the time he got to the smell, it wasn't just the smell of oysters. Tony could probably down some oysters, but maybe not anymore. I don't know.
It was funny, too, because when we were leaving to get back to the hotel, right, we had stepped outside of Drago's, and you and Marlon didn't know which direction we needed to go. And I was
Tony let us
straight enough
home.
at that point. I was like, it's that way.
Yeah,
like,
he let us know. We had no idea.
pointed to where we were going.
We still, to be fair, had all the alcohol still in our system.
Oh, I know.
As opposed
That's
to this
what I
guy.
said. I was recovered enough
here.
to have my wits beneath me.
You missed a lot of good
did
Super
not
Bowl
sleep
road
that
trips
night,
there,
yeah.
RJ.
Sure did.
If you ever go on one with us again, you have to tell me all about it. I'll be in bed by 6.
Oh,
Man.
I'd probably be in bed too because I don't drink. So like that's the problem. Like so I doing the bar stuff, I would be the designated driver for you guys or things like that. I'm a softie.
All right. Well,
I
either
typically
way.
don't drink either. I drink on the Super Bowl trip. That's
the only
seriously-
exception.
That's the only time I legitimately drink.
I mean, I haven't probably had we're the teetotalist show in radio right now. I haven't had it. Last drink I had was at the Coughlin J Fun Wine Tasting Gala.
Yeah.
Which get your tickets is coming up in early March.
I don't remember.
We'll be at
See,
the
this is where
Space
you guys would
Fairgrounds.
probably make fun of me. Like I tried, alcohol, which was wine. It was at a college party. I think we got accepted for something, like one of those galas, little get-togethers. Took a sip of wine. I felt all warm inside. I thought I was gonna die. I was giving like my last will and testament. I'm like, what is this?
No, the
feeling?
warmth
Right.
is like a wanted byproduct.
Okay,
of that.
I didn't know
that comes with it. That's
I said, oh my
that's
gosh.
actually a benefit. It's a feature.
I
not
said,
a
I'm
bug.
dying here. I said, this is it for me. I said, Jesus, I'm sorry.
Well,
So, that was it.
Jesus was not opposed to
He
passing
wasn't
out the
opposed
wine
at all. He
So,
turned water into wine. But I
no
think he said
apology
wine,
necessary.
wine's not for RJ.
All right,
He
well,
will
maybe
die
he
if
did.
he drinks it.
Hey, man, I don't care what you do. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't really matter to me. I've had my days as a straight edger. I've had my days as a rounded edger as well at various points in time. So today we've got a question of the day. We hope it's a fun one. We got a lot of responses on this already because we're going to start doing this like we've done in years past. When we have a Tuesday top 5 coming, we'll put it out there on Monday, so you have a little time to think about it. And today we are going with who are your top 5 projected duos for the 2026 Jacksonville Jaguars without revealing any names on your lists, gentlemen.
Yes.
Did you stick only to players?
I put together 2 different lists.
You did,
not
okay.
knowing whether we would have a rule of just.
There is no rule,
players.
and
Okay.
it's fascinating to me that very few people have veered off the player thing. I try to be very intentional about how I write these, and I did say any players, including your duos, have to be guys that you expect to be on the team. In other words, don't say Etienne and Tootin if you don't think they're going to re-sign Etienne. That's all I'm saying.
So I do have a list that's all players, but I also have a list that
Of combo.
branches
Okay,
off
I have a floating list of others that I'd considered. So we'll go through those countdown style throughout the course of the show today.
Could these include, like, coaches and front office people?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so there was an exception. Okay, I thought I did this completely wrong.
No. That is what I'm saying is like most of the lists I'm getting are just players. And
Right.
that's fine.
Right.
There are plenty of combos. I did my list primarily just players.
Right.
But Liam Cohen, James Gladstone. Hey, there's a combo,
Yes.
a duo that you think might work really well for the Jags in 2026. In fact, you may say that's the number 1 duo. Not outrageous whatsoever. Liam Cohen and Trevor Lawrence, you name it.
Yeah.
Tony Baselli and Gladstone. I saw that yesterday as well, just sticking strictly at the front office. There's no right or wrong answers unless I really hate your answer. There really are no wrong answers here. So hit us up with your lists today. You can do that in a number of ways at 641-1010 on the Key Buick GMC phone lines, also the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures.
I haven't seen anyone do it yet, but I was looking to see if anyone would do like Etienne and Lloyd just as their vote of confidence that they're back.
Wow, that would be a hell of a pull if you get them both. But again, these are guys that you all expect. Anyone on your list of duos has to be someone you think is on board with the Jaguars in 2026 for the entirety of the season this year. If you want, you can stream us today on YouTube, on X, on Facebook. Hit us up on social media at MD_1010XL, at 1010XL Fat Tony, and at R has no J. This is Jaguars Today. We got Liam Cohen talking to the Associated Press. We're going to lead off with the head coach coming up next on 1010XL 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey here for Dandy Foods, owned and operated by my friends, the Thompson family, a Jacksonville family since way back in 1956. 70 years now on the First Coast. Back in 56, sandwiches were sold out of beer flats on the counter, unrefrigerated, right by the register. You get 25 cents, get you ham and cheese. A lot has changed since then, but one thing that hasn't changed is Danny's commitment to quality. Quality sandwiches for you, their customers here in Duval, whether it's a classic Cuban made with authentic Cuban bread, maybe a delicious home-style cranberry chicken salad. Danny's got something for everybody. It's always going to be fast, fresh, waiting for you in the cold case at convenience stores all over town. You find them at all daily stores with a wide selection to choose from. Full breakfast menu, protein packs, light lunchtime wraps, gourmet salads. You name it, they got a little something that'll pick you up no matter where you are in Duval. If you're hungry, Danny's the name to know. So do what I do. Go out and make yours a dandy. And do it today.
Jaguars
Today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL.
I want winners.
Who really wants to win?
Who's a winner? I said, who's a winner?
1010XL.
I want winners.
92.5 FM.
Winning feels good. I really like winning.
Spring is almost here. Is your yard ready? Lucas Tree Service, a family-owned business with over 45 years of experience, is your local certified arborist for tree removal, trimming, and stump grinding for residential or commercial properties. Protect your home, boost your curb appeal, and get top-notch service from a Jacksonville company. Make sure your trees are healthy and safe before summer hits. Schedule your tree inspection today at lucastreeservice.com.
Jaguars Today Tuesday, kept pest-free by Julington Creek Pest Control.
It's free window February with Renewal by Andersen. Right now, when you buy 4 replacement windows, you get the 5th for free. Plus, 0 down, no payments, and no interest for 1 year. This offer expires February 28th. Renewal by Andersen, proud partner of the Florida Gators. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation.
License number CGC 1527613.
Fish know where to hide. Captain Kevin knows how to find them.
That's a big one.
Listen for the Ring Power Fishing Forecast Show, brought to you by Awaken 180 Weight Loss and Royal Pest Services.
Thursday nights at 6
on 1010XL AM.
Hey friends, Frank Frangie here. A new year is the perfect time to make sure your car is ready for the road ahead. And nothing gives you more confidence than a fresh set of tires from my friends at Big Chief Tire. I've trusted them for years. They take great care of me, and they'll take great care of you. Start 2026 with a smoother, safer ride. Visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com or call 904-932-0950 today and let Big Chief get you rolling.
Be the first to discover the best new home community in beautiful Green Cove Springs. Highland Trail, where the rhythm of life slows down. Enjoy green spaces, luxury pools, pickleball courts, winding trails, and more at livehighlandtrail.com. Choose from 3 premium builders, just starting in the 300s.
Oh, at Highland Trail.
Hi, I'm Kathleen Spears, Executive Director of Waste Not, Want Not. With support from the players, we're rescuing food and fighting hunger in Northeast Florida every day. Only 35 days until the players.
This is Dave Barker with IHRS. Are you frustrated with those trendy pills and lotions that claim to make your hair thicker and fuller? Tired of your hair falling out? Our hair restoration solutions have helped over 10,000 men and women restore their hair in as little as 2 office visits.
Call 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477 or go to hairforme.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Everything you need to know about the Jags. Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
All right, here we go. Jaguars Today. RJ Saunders along with Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith here with you on Jaguars Today. And RJ was combing the audio archives yesterday for all the freshest stuff. And Liam Cohen had a Zoom sit-down with the Associated Press. And there's a lot of this going on. He is up for Coach of the Year, right? So a lot of these awards are going to be announced at the NFL Honors thing coming up, which, by the way, you asked a moment ago as we went to break, who's leaking this stuff, right? Like the Hall of Fame stuff? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Because we found out Robert Kraft now reportedly will not make the Hall of Fame this year along with Belichick. I think at this point, the NFL is encouraging whoever has that information. Like, they don't want it. The closer it gets released to the game, the more it's going to overshadow the game. You know, the Belichick thing was a good 3 full day story, and it's still being talked about. Yeah. If we had not found that out until Thursday night, well, the next 2 days, all that talk and a lot of the run-up on that 18,000 hours of coverage before kickoff on Sunday would have been focused on Belichick. They'll probably discuss it now, but it's not going to be a major thing. You know, I don't know who's got the info.
A little blurb on whoever actually gets into the hall, obviously, because they'll know by then.
Of course.
Yeah.
Right. Right. They'll do a segment on the Hall of Fame at some point, but I think they don't want it to be about who's not getting it. It is ironic that the Patriots are in the Super Bowl and what should be a massive celebratory week.
What a weird week
for their fan base is like
Belichick no, Kraft no, Tom Brady not cheering for the Patriots.
Not going to cheer for that. I don't have a dog in the hunt,
like
says Tom.
What is happening?
I mean, I get it. He's part of ownership of the Raiders now. Yeah. Would anybody fault you if you said, well, yeah, come on, guys. I played for him for years. I won a bunch of rings there. Of course, Vrabel was my teammate. Of course, I'm rooting for New England here.
It's a friend of his.
Right, but he's got to be impartial announcer. We had this discussion last night on Sirius XM, right? Why? All right. even though the Raiders' job's not officially full, we all know it's going to be Clint Kubiak at this point in time. And we talked about how, during the NFC Championship game, if you watch the broadcast, Brady was gushing about him, right? And probably knew that this was a road that the Raiders were likely to go down. So we're talking, well, okay, if you look at it, I think the Cardinals' job is a worse job than the Raiders' job. The Raiders have the number 1 pick. They got a lot of cap space. That is enough right there. And they've got a few key milepost type players in Bowers and Genty and Crosby. If you want to flip Crosby for multiple firsts, you can probably do it. If you want to build around him, well, then you've got 3 pieces to build around, 3 really good pieces to build around. In Arizona, you have a quarterback that you might be trying to get rid of because of cap reasons, right? So whatever. So
you have Trey McBride.
You do have Trey McBride. There are a few pieces that may be good into the future. I mean, Michael Wilson was fantastic this year. But I feel you don't have the quarterback question answered. The Raiders do. Whether it's the right answer, time will tell. But they're the only one in this draft that's got the answer that they know what the answer is going to be.
If they're looking for a quarterback,
Right. It's just not a good quarterback draft. So my co-host brings up, well, and then the Raiders' job has Tom Brady, which makes it attractive as well. I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Why exactly does Tom Brady make that job more attractive? Was Tom Brady there this year? I thought he was. Did they have the worst record in the league this year? I mean, what was the impact that Tom Brady had?
Right.
Did Tom Brady sign off on not trading for Sam Darnold, where the Vikings almost had a deal to send him there? And then did he sign off on it instead pivoting to Geno Smith? I mean, or are we just going to say Tom Brady's only responsible for the good decisions that the Raiders make now?
Right.
Just because he's there. I mean, Tony Baselli could have stunk. He did a good job, right? He pushed Shad Khan to get to an uncomfortable place when it came to firing Trent Baalke after he'd already brought him back and opened the door to Liam Cohen coming in, and then the floodgates open to a turning over the entire coaching staff and front office with a lot more youth, and somehow we didn't have to fire the medical staff to do it. But Tony could have been terrible at the job.
Right, especially when Brady's in a position that we're not even sure exactly what he
What
has
does he
his
do?
hands on. Like, we just don't know.
Like Dan Marino. Remember when Dan Marino got hired by the Dolphins?
Yeah.
How long did that last? Did it last a week?
Maybe a week.
Was it a day? It was so fast.
So fast.
You remember that, RJ? You might have been too young for that. Dan Marino got hired to be like the boss, right? To run football operation. To be the guy that, here's the living legend, come in here with a fresh eye. Was he doing games at the time? I think he might have been calling games, right? So he was but he was involved with the league, right? So he's keeping up with the players, and he was going to come in. Well, Dan apparently thought he was a figurehead, and the Dolphins were like, no, this is a job that requires work. And,
You got to come in.
And, I mean, I'm going to have to look it up. Dan was there. It was almost as fast as Brady was the head coach of the New York Jets.
Yeah.
Right? That was a 24-hour news cycle that
we know
lasted.
what responsibilities John Elway and John Lynch had, and Lynch still has. Right? In San Francisco, we know whatever's happening with those organizations while they were there were at the behest of those men. Right? Like, they were running the show in these places from a football perspective. I don't know what Tom Brady does or doesn't do as a member of the Raiders.
I don't
whatever. Like, I have no idea.
I'm not saying
I'm not saying he can't have an impact on things that are happening there. I just don't know where it is because I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah, right. I mean, there may be, and Fernando Mendoza, I'm sure, will say all the right things about, oh my gosh, I get this great opportunity to pick the brain of the living legend, and maybe there is some benefit to that.
Yeah.
But I didn't see anything this year.
Right.
They had the literal worst team in football this year with Tom Brady on board. 3-week stint. I'm sorry, I underestimated you, Dan. He made it 3 weeks, which in 2004 felt like a minute, I guess. But 2004, he was hired as the senior vice president of the football operations. And now he is, since 2014, a special advisor to the Miami Dolphins. That seems more like what Dan was looking for. You want to call me up, right? It's
what is Tom Brady's role called?
I don't know. Executive vice president. Is he the same as Baselli?
I don't know.
President of the team. I'm not sure what his title is.
Yeah.
But basically, if Brady wants it, he's going to get it, is the way we're led to believe with the Raiders. What do you got?
I can't get a clear answer.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, well, whatever it is.
I'm getting an AI answer, and I just don't trust it.
You can't trust them.
Yeah.
You can't trust them at all. All right, so Liam Cohen, back to the subject matter at hand, is up for Coach of the Year and discussed that with the Associated Press yesterday.
Yeah, it's a great question. To even be in the consideration is an honor itself, right? I grew up in coaching. My whole life spent about football, and that's all I've ever known, and really was exposed to at a very young age. I'm very thankful for my father, Tim, to be able to be a great guidance for me throughout my whole life, really, and journey to lead up into this point, and to work with so many great coaches, and to do it with Tony Baselli and James Gladstone, to come in and take a 4-13 team to 13-4 in your first year is definitely a turnaround for sure that you were excited about being a part of, and now the work really gets started at this point.
It's going to be fascinating to see who gets this, right? Because people are going to, it's got to be Vrabel. He got him to the Super Bowl. Well, the voting ended at the end of the regular season. Now, you can make a case for Vrabel anyway. The Patriots drafted higher than the Jaguars this year, and they finished with a better record or finished with a higher seed. So I'm not going to be upset if that's the way it goes, Tone. But, I mean, for a while there, it seemed like a Vrabel-Ben Johnson battle, and I don't know. I don't feel or sense the buzz. I don't know where you get the sense from, but I don't have any sense of like Mike McDonald is going to be Coach of the Year in the National Football League. I think it's coming from the Cohen, Johnson, Vrabel, turned a team around the biggest category.
Yeah, I think so. McDonald maybe he's obviously got as good an argument as anybody for the Coach of the Year.
Yeah, but they won 10 last year.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know why. Cohen couldn't win it if it was at the end of the regular season that they're voting on these things.
He might. I'm not. Yeah, I think he's got a better chance to win that than Trevor does MVP.
Absolutely.
No question about it.
I don't think Trevor has much of any chance.
I agree with you. But we know he got some votes. So
he's got some votes.
And put him in the top 5. Who's the other? Who's the fifth coach? I forgot for a second there. Who's the fifth coach? I have it now. McDonald, Johnson, Cohen, Vrabel.
I don't know.
Shanahan, Kyle Shanahan. And they did go through a lot of injuries this year. So
well, and it was a year going into it that everyone kind of thought, is San Francisco finally going to take a step back? Like they were sellers with all this stuff. The Ayuk thing was crazy.
Purdy got hurt.
Right. Like the whole thing that they managed to do what they did is
Bosa got hurt.
Yeah.
Kittle ended up getting hurt and missed time in between. Yeah, the Ayuk thing was ridiculous. Healthiest guy in San Francisco, as we knew he would be, is Christian McCaffrey. It's built of titanium.
That
Tony.
guy, if he's going to play a full season, you might as well just print the 22,000 yards from scrimmage. Like he's unbelievable.
If you knew everyone was going to stay healthy, I think I'd take him number 1 in fantasy in 2026. And you think, anybody can get hurt, but the older running backs they have that
trust
tendency.
It less, and he's got the history with it. Yeah.
He's not getting out of the first round anyway this year, for sure. All right, more from Liam Cohen coming up. Plus, we will begin our countdown later this hour on our top 5 projected duos for the 2026 Jacksonville Jaguars. You can submit your list to us as well. We'll check in on the text line, see what's percolating over there. Did Liam Cohen think he could turn this team around as quickly as he did? We'll hear from him coming up next on that and more here on Jaguars Today on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today. You're at the home of the Jaguars in the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. Superior products, exceptional service. Streaming live from the XL Digital Studios. Polished by Harbor Dental Care, the locally owned smile restoration experts.
Welcome to Key Buick GMC, proudly family-owned and operated since 1943. Come see why they're North Florida's new and pre-owned truck center, conveniently located on Southside and JTB, just minutes from the St. John's Town Center. At Key Buick GMC, every new vehicle comes with our lifetime powertrain warranty. Key Buick GMC, we are professional grade. Online at KeyBuickGMC.com. Lifetime powertrain warranty covers engine, transmission, drivetrain only. Exclusions apply. See dealer for details.
Jacksonville is the flip side of Florida. And inside the flip side, the action never stops. If you're tired of hearing about the best games after the final whistle, don't get left on the sidelines. Whether it's a unique sporting event you've never seen, a weekend with the family, or a winning date night, Visit Jacksonville is your ultimate playbook. Get in the game. Head to visitjacksonville.com/locals or download the Visit Jacks app today and see everything coming in 2026. Jacksonville. Experience the flip side.
It's a Jaguars Today Tuesday, sparked by Shulington Creek Pest Control.
Covering the First Coast and ready to help when you need it. That's Rebound Rehabilitation. With a dozen locations, they're easy to get to and they'll get you back in the game. Sports injury, workers' comp case, or auto accidents, you name it, they can help. Check out reboundrehab.com.
This is Paige, owner of Awaken 180 Weight Loss. People ask me all the time what's healthy. And that's hard because healthy is different from losing weight. And I think that's where a lot of people struggle. There are a lot of foods out there that are healthy foods, but they're not going to support your weight loss. And that's what we're here to help with. We're here to help you get in the healthy foods that are going to help you lose weight. The Awaken 180 difference is our coaches. It's our team. You can find things online about weight loss, but you try them yourself and they just don't work. And that's because everyone is different. And that's what our coaches are so skilled at helping you figure out.
Thanks, Paige. Hacker here. Figuring it out, that's what I needed. And the reason I chose Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Not a med, not a diet plan. I wanted a solution. Do what I did and make a 180 with your health and weight. Schedule your Awaken 180 consultation today. Call 844-346-1800. That's 844-346-1800 or awaken180weightloss.com.
We love talking sports on 1010XL, and I9 Sports loves giving kids the perfect way to grow up playing the game. Spring and summer registration going on right now. Log on to i9sports.com to see all they've got to offer for kids ages 3 and up. Enter 1010 in the promo code for a discount. Year-round sports all across the First Coast. St. John's, Duval, and Clay. Sign up now for spring and summer. Great new locations added like Tofoy Creek High School and Westside Middle. Get your kids in the game with i9 Sports. Enter 1010 in the promo code for a discount at i9sports.com.
If you are an experienced electrician looking for your next big opportunity, look no further than the Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller Electric, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering you the chance to showcase your skills on a grand scale. We believe in rewarding hard work with the best pay, top-notch benefits, and an unbeatable culture where people actually care about each other. Take your career to new heights with Miller Electric Company. Apply today at millercareers.com. Miller Electric, an equal opportunity employer.
Are you ready for another historic season at the bank? It's time to lock in your seats for 2026 by placing your deposit now. Next season will be played at Everbank Stadium, but seating capacity is limited due to in-bowl renovations, and spots are going fast. Don't miss out on your chance to see the season's biggest matchups and highlight real moments by placing your deposit at jaguars.com/tickets or by calling 904-633-2000. Go Jags!
Ticket here for Action Garage Door. Nothing more frustrating than your garage door misfiring. When it does, I call Action Garage Door. They take action. Jeff and Art and crew, Jacksonville folks, not some big out-of-town chain. Something goes wrong with your garage door, take action. Check them out. Garage Door 911, garagedoor911.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Now, more Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
All right, so, Tony, limited minority owner Tom Brady of the New England Patriots doesn't have an official front office title, it appears, right? So,
no.
All right, what did I say?
Patriots.
Patriots, geez. Yeah, easy. Among the mistakes I
he'd
make,
have a rooting interest.
that's
if
an
he
easy
did.
one.
Yeah,
that's true. He'd probably have more of a rooting interest. Thank you, RJ. I'm sure I do it all the time. This may be the craziest Tom Brady stat I've ever read, or anecdote, or however you want to categorize this. I guess it's a stat. The number is 0. Okay? These are the amount of snaps he played in his career when his team was mathematically eliminated from the postseason. What? Like, now, 2008, they didn't make the postseason,
but he was hurt.
But he got hurt, right? He got hurt, tore that ACL early on. Never played a snap. If Tom Brady was your quarterback, you're making the playoffs. at the very least, and obviously a whole lot more than that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's something to that level of consistency that the only thing that stopped him was getting hurt. And, just couldn't control it.
Yeah,
Not a snap.
That's insane.
It just absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. That's as impressive as anything. It's like Pete Rose. You know what Pete Rose's favorite stat was? He always said, played in the most winning baseball games of any player, right? Which is ironic because all the gambling and all that, but that was Pete Rose's big thing. We came to learn Pete Rose is a dirty liar who bet on everything, including the Reds. Okay? Sorry. This is the way it was. I mean, great ball player, dirty liar. Prove me wrong. All right. You can say anything you like about me. It might be true as well. But honestly, how was he to say that about Pete Rose? Well, that's kind of the way it went. But he loved that stat. He played in the most winning baseball games. Pete Rose was known for knowing his stats up to the moment. Like you could ask him, what's your career RBIs? He'd know right then. What's your career bat? He'd calculate it constantly. Update in his head. Had it going. A little obsessive. Okay, back to Liam Cohen, shall we? Yes, let's. All right, as I mentioned, heading into the break, Liam Cohen asked about the turnaround for the Jags. I'm curious to hear what he has to say here. Does he have the honest hat on? Did Liam Cohen think the turnaround for the Jaguars would be as quick as it was with the roster that he inherited?
Yeah, this was the only job that I was fortunate enough to interview for, and this was the job that I wanted. This was the one that you looked at and said, okay, when you've got a quarterback in this league, you've got a shot, right? And very fortunate to be able to work with Trevor on a day-to-day basis. And he was so cool about the getting started and working through the process of learning the new system, pouring himself and his work into it and the way that he approached it on a day-to-day basis. And then you've got some pieces, right? We've got multiple players on the defensive side of the football that have made huge impacts over the course of their NFL careers. And some guys that, just needed to have a next step in their career, take a next step to help us get to ultimately where we were able to go this year. And so you looked at the roster and we're excited about some of the pieces. And then I think James did a great job of adding some of the guys in free agency through the draft, obviously, and then also during the season when we were able to acquire Jacoby Myers, which really helped our offense take off.
All right, let me answer this more succinctly for Liam. No. My answer is no. Not once did he mention that he thought the turnaround, not even anything. We thought we had some decent players on this roster. Okay? That isn't answering the question of whether or not you thought you'd go from 4 wins to 13 wins, the turnaround, and how big it was as quickly as it came. And that's not a knock on him. You answer that as honestly as possible. That's like Jack Del Rio when he came in and remember in his first year, Tony, he's like, how the hell did Tom Coughlin win as many games as he did with this roster last year? You're by doing that, you're going Keon Coleman on the situation. Like, did you see this guy? Like, we got to work with this. So it's a tough question to answer, but I've had people in that building tell me there's zero doubt that they outperformed their own expectations. As the summer went along, we were feeling all good about it. I felt like there was a push in training camp to kind of tamp things down a little bit. Hey, don't forget, we're still coming off a 4-win season.
Yeah. Well, and I know the fans that said this kind of thing about halfway through the season that have gone really quiet because of the way the back half of the season went for the football team, but they were willing to say it is obvious that Liam Cohen does not like Trevor Lawrence.
Obvious.
Right? Like, it's clear to everyone. We know they're just trying to figure out what the plan's going to be for how we get out of this, right, the whole time. And then, Liam gets asked a question. It's like, I was excited to come here because Trevor's here.
Look, we heard at the time through back channels that Ben Johnson was salivating at the thought of working with Trevor Lawrence.
There was nowhere else he wanted to go.
And I believe that to some degree. And the dysfunction that the Jags were going through with the front office when Trent Baalke's like, it's not worth it. There are other good young quarterbacks out there, including Caleb Williams. I'll go work with this guy. But that he was eyeing this job coming open with the opportunity that he thought maybe step right in and work his magic on Trevor Lawrence, which Liam Cohen clearly helped do. By the way, it's not magic. It's hard work. It's professionalism.
Hard coaching.
It's hard coaching, but it's also Trevor Lawrence meeting the challenge.
Yep.
It's repetition. It's practice. He rebuilt his footwork, Tony. You know, he built it from the ground up last year. So it's not, there's no, hey, Liam Cohen just worked his magic. There's nothing magic about any of this, okay? No. It's magic in the fact that some people just have a gift for being able to do it at a high level, but it's a lot of hard work on everybody's part that goes into it. And when you talk about, oh, man, the magic, it kind of almost a little disrespectful to the process they had to go through to get to there, to where Trevor was saying at the end of the year, it's hard to get to this place. Not hard to get to the playoffs, hard to put yourself in position to have a home game, be a 13-win team, have everything lined up, be relatively healthy. Hope we can do it again next year.
Yeah, wins are hard to get in the NFL week to week. It's just it's a hard thing to do, and they found a way to get 13 of them this year. And staying along the conversation we're having around Trevor Lawrence here, Coach was also asked about how they were able to unlock Trevor Lawrence this year and the potential that everyone has seen in him since he got into the league.
Just trying to pour into him as much as possible and let them feel that, right? Feel the belief, feel the amount of time, brain power, work that goes into trying to help a quarterback play to the best of his abilities, right? And so much of that is timing and circumstances and the circumstances around that player. And so how much are you pouring into not only Trevor and the fundamentals, technique, footwork, brain power that goes into coaching the quarterback, but also are you making his life and his job easier when he does have the opportunity, right? So not every throw is a gotta have it. Not every third down is a gotta have it. And so you allow him to go play freely, knowing that, well, he trusts the process around him. He trusts the offensive line to protect for that much longer. He trusts the run game to where he can hand it off, gain the yards to keep the defense off balance. So much of that goes into helping a quarterback reach his potential. And so many of these guys, the best ones, they want all the tools, right? They want all the protection pieces and tools. They want all the answers so that they can go out and solve problems.
Well, yeah, who doesn't, right? And by the way, when I say a lot of hard work from Liam Cohen and Trevor Lawrence, a lot of hard work from the offensive line. They kept him clean for a number of games. A lot of hard work from Travis Etienne and the others who made the running game palatable. A lot of hard work from anybody who dared to hang on to the football at any point. And a lot of hard work from the defense who produced, 31 turnovers that kept getting the ball back for you. So it truly is. You know, it's cliche, and we get tired of hearing, it's a team game, the ultimate team game, because we like to elevate individuals and focus on their accomplishments. But you can't deny, if you want to go with Liam Cohen, Trevor Lawrence as number one in your combo duos today, I'd have no issue with that at all. All right, we got one more from Liam Cohen coming up on what goes into being a successful leader. We'll hear that on the other side. Then we'll get to today's countdown, the first Tuesday top 5 of the 2026 off season. Your top 5 projected duos for the 2026 Jacksonville Jaguars. You're listening to Jaguars Today on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL. Wherever you go, we go.
Those are the rules. I didn't make them up.
Download the 1010XL and XL 92.5 FM apps for free on Apple and Android devices to listen anywhere in the world.
It may be the key to the whole plan. Get it? Got it. Good.
Make Capital Glass and Shower Doors your premier choice for top-quality glass solutions. With over 40 years of expertise, their team specializes in commercial and residential projects. From elegant shower doors to modern frameless enclosures, they've got you covered. But that's not all. They also offer glass railing systems, glass wine cabinets, and much more. For unmatched quality and service, choose Capital Glass and Shower Doors. Your vision, their expertise. Visit online at capcoglass.com.
It's Jaguars Today Tuesday.
Protected by Shirlington Creek Pest Control. Our family serving yours since 1984.
Hey, it's Taylor. Valentine's Day is quickly approaching. Don't fall into the same routine of last-minute grocery store runs, picked-over flowers, and forgettable chocolates. Make a new play this year with a gift from Peterbrook Chocolatier. Choose from beautifully crafted artisan chocolates or a gift basket filled with the perfect mix of sweet, salty, crunchy, and creamy treats. With 15 North Florida locations, you likely drove past one today. Up your game this Valentine's Day with a gift that truly impresses. Find your closest location at peterbrook.com. That's peterbrook.com.
If you missed it, get it on demand.
And you send those out on the line.
Find your 1010XL favorites where you find podcasts and at 1010XL.com. Channel 5, Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning.
New year, new club. This is Joe C., and I'm proud to be a member of Southampton. And with the popularity of golf, getting a tee time is tough. But with membership comes member privileges. Enjoy clubhouse dining, expanded practice area, focusing on all parts of your game. And right now, you can join with an annual commitment and get a $1,000 discount, plus $500 of Pro Shop credit. All the details are online at golfsouthampton.com or call 287-PLAY and make a tee time today at the Golf Club of Southampton.
Hi, I'm Kathleen Spears, Executive Director of Waste Not, Want Not. With support from the players, we're rescuing food and fighting hunger in Northeast Florida every day. Only 35 days until the players.
Next time you head into a Gate convenience store, look for Form Energy Drink, designed to provide energy, hydration, and focus, straight from Dana White and AB, celebrating those who embrace grit, discipline, and resilience in their everyday lives. Check out Form Energy at a Gate convenience store.
New and pre-owned firearms are in stock at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach. Want a new sidearm or rifle? Brands like Kimber, Smith & Wesson, 6 Hour, Beretta. No lines, no hassle. Only at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
Hi, this is Dave Barker with IHRS. Are you frustrated with those trendy pills, drops, and lotions that claim to make your hair thicker and fuller? Are you taking weight loss drugs or medication that's making your hair fall out? Whether you're frustrated with results from treatments that just don't work, or you no longer have the fuller, thicker hair that you once had, there's a better way. Our hair restoration solutions have helped literally over 10,000 men and women restore their hair in as little as 2 office visits.
Ready to grow your hair back and have permanent, natural, and guaranteed results? For your confidential consultation, call 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Or go to hairforme.com. That's hairforme.com.
This is Frank Frangie for the farm in Okefenokee. Can you imagine owning a handcrafted cabin tucked into a 1,000-acre regenerative farm? Imagine enjoying fresh produce from the garden, fruit from the orchard, meats from the smokehouse. Every meal is a true farm-to-table experience all year long. Belong to a place where your family can choose nature over screens, spending their days feeding animals, picking berries, and fishing in the farm's pond. Learn more at okefarm.com. That's okefarm.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Everything you need to know about the Jags. Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
All right, to make ourselves feel a little bit better, we'll talk some Tennessee Titan football tomorrow. And who knows, maybe it will make us feel better. Some think that the Titans have one of the best coaching hauls of the offseason. And they do have 3 former head coaches now in their offensive, defensive coordinator and head coaching positions. So they've got experience. But does that mean it's positive experience? We shall see. We'll get into that a little bit tomorrow as we start to explore some of the Jaguars' rivals in the offseason. Let's see here. Not going to cheer either Lloyd nor ETN signing big contract extensions when they have 5 or 6 more important contracts to do next year. Well, I don't think you're going to have to worry about that. If they sign one of them to a contract extension, it's likely to be something in what we would consider the team-friendly or ultra-short-term category. They continue. They have in-house replacement running backs and linebackers. Yeah, look, Tootin could be the starting running back. I'm pretty confident in that. I don't know if I saw enough from LaQuint Allen to tell me that he is, like he's a hard-nosed player. He catches the ball well. He's a great pass protector. He's a great attitude guy. I didn't see a ton of, getting more than what was blocked for him this year. Now, granted, he's a rookie, but you get another guy in, that's fine. I don't know what they've got at linebacker, Tony. They've got Ventrell Miller. We know they have names and guys on the roster. That doesn't mean I expect any of them to approach the level. I think it's a lot more likely Tootin plays as well as ETN did this year in 2026 than any linebacker that would be replacing Devin Lloyd on this roster would have a chance of matching.
I would agree. I think there is one of the angles I've been thinking about with the ETN thing and Tootin replacing him potentially on the roster. And I think that's more likely than not that that's the way this whole thing is going to play out, is that ETN will sign somewhere else and that Tootin will be the starting running back for the Jags going into 2026. When they drafted Tootin and got here, we know through camp, they were splitting reps basically as the starters between ETN and Tank at the time. Tootin had the injury at the beginning of camp and then came in, that kind of thing. One of the things we talked about when they drafted Tootin was that 4.3 speed. How often did that show up over the course of the year where we got to see that on display, right?
I saw a few bursts.
For Tootin going through the year. Like, I was just thinking about it going back to it, and I do expect that that's where this whole thing is going to land, is with Tootin as the starter. Maybe it speaks to what will they be looking to do at the position in the draft? Do they view it as, all right, now it's close to settled, even if it is Tootin and LaQuint? Right? Like, I don't know that they're going to view it that way. I don't know that that's enough for them to bring ETN back at whatever the price point's going to be. But I do think maybe we saw it once or twice during the year, but I don't remember Tootin ever just running away from anybody.
I don't know. I remember several, like 20-ish yard runs. He didn't have that huge breakaway, but I remember that speed to me being evident when he got a little bit of daylight when he took it outside the tackle box. So I think it's there, and I'm intrigued to see it. Look, we didn't see much of that from Travis Etienne for the last 2 full seasons prior to this year. And to me, it's not a question of, can you get by with Tootin? You might be able to get by with Tootin, but can he give you – Etienne gave you so many things. He gave you decent pass protection. He gave you an excellent receiver out of the backfield. He gave you productivity on an average per carry basis. He gave you touchdowns. He gave you great fit in the locker room and chemistry with this team. He is everything you would want to fit. Great fit in Liam Cohen's offense. With the only thing you don't want is the price tag that might come with it.
I do think the Tootin thing is it was limited to whatever his role was, this year. So we only got the 83 carries, 307 yards. His long on the year was 15.
Was it 15?
Yeah.
Maybe it was a few little swing passes. What's the long on reception for him? I felt like he had a few plays that were like 20-yarders, outside the hashes that he had a little
24.
24. All right. Might have had a few of those in the receiving game, and that might have been more what it was.
Had 10 catches for 79.
Okay. Which, a lot of those are probably getting stuffed.
Yeah. With a long at 24, so that means the other 9 are for 55.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's my mind.
Well, he was a kick returner too.
That's
so
true.
That's when we saw him in space, it was more there.
Might have been.
For Tootin going through the year, and because of the way that play works now, it feels like it's a running play, right? Like that's basically the dynamic of the kick returns now. Is it's a run. It's kind of the way it looks and feels, which I think that speaks to maybe how you're feeling, that kind of thing. But I do wonder, because I don't remember those burst plays.
See, I feel like I said, he's got some juice. Give it to him more. Like, I felt that against Buffalo, and it wasn't like he was ripping off 50-yard runs, but I saw the burst every time he got the ball. That's why it was surprising. I mean, he had that one drive where it was like bang, 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 and then he had nothing in the second half.
I remember thinking in preseason with the way that he was running then that he's going to be the short yardage guy.
Yeah, there was some of that too.
Right. And then once you got into the season, especially the back half of the season, Trevor Lawrence was the short yardage guy.
Yeah. But Tootin did come in some goal line.
did.
What did he end up with? 6 rushing touchdowns, something like that? Which was not an insignificant number when your lead was it 5? Okay. When you're
2.
Okay, so 7 total touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
That's 20 out of your top 2 guys. That's fantastic production
really is.
out of your running back group. All right, one more here from Liam Cohen as we wrap up hour 1 of Jaguars Today and what goes into being a successful leader.
When you get into any of these roles and responsibilities and leadership roles, regardless if you're a head coach of the flag football team or if you're a head coach of an NFL team, you got that position because somebody obviously believed in you to be in that position. And so what I would say is just be you, be yourself, because your authentic self, your most truest authentic self is usually when you're living, in gratitude. And that allows you to continue to be the best version of yourself and to attack each and every day with that mindset and mentality. And look, you're able to learn from so many people in this world, especially in this profession. I've been very fortunate to work with some great coaches, and you take something from all of them, right? Well, but it really comes down to being you and being yourself. And I think that's something that's really helped our leadership group and myself throughout this first season.
You've got to be yourself. You got to be authentic. They will sniff it out on you quickly, right? I mean, if you're one of these guys that waffles, like you're going to try to present one version of yourself, and when things don't go well, you kind of crack under pressure, NFL players will eat you alive, right? The alpha athletes will eat you alive at any level. If, they want a guy that can take them and push them to reach heights that they haven't reached before. At least the good ones do. All right, Liam Cohen, always fun to hear from the head coach as we wrap up the first hour. We'll kick off the countdown on the Tuesday Top 5 when we return your Top 5 projected duos for the Jacksonville Jaguars in 2026. This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today from the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. For some people, waking up is the hardest part of the day.
It's 0600. What's the O stand for? Oh, it's early.
That's why Dan and Jeff energize your morning.
Oh, yes!
Like an energy drink without the crash. The Drill. Mornings on 1010XL.
When it comes to glass, you don't want average. You want flawless. Duval Glass and Mirror has transformed homes and businesses across Jacksonville for over 35 years. Frameless showers that wow. Mirrors cut exactly to your style. Fogged or broken glass replaced. Decorative tabletops, windows replaced or repaired to stand up to Florida storms. All backed by a 100% guarantee. Visit DuvalGlass.com for your free quote. There's only one name for glass and mirror around these parts. It's Duval!
Let's talk about the sound no homeowner wants to hear. Drip, drip, drip. Still dripping. That's exactly why Duck Duck Rooter created the Love Your Pipes promotion. Plumbing problems don't scare us. Not with years of experience and honest upfront pricing on our side. Right now, you can get free plumbing assessment on all fixtures with any paid plumbing service. It's the smart move to fix the issue now before it becomes bigger. So when you're stuck, call the Duck. 904-682-6769. DuckDuckRooter.com.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On February 3rd, 2008, the New York Giants defeated the New England Patriots 17-14 in Super Bowl 42. Eli Manning was the Super Bowl MVP.
Brian and Angela Wall here with Window World. By now, everyone has heard about saving money on their energy bills. There are all sorts of things you can do to cut energy costs, but most people don't think about their windows.
But Window World knows that the biggest energy loss in almost every home is the windows. There is more energy loss from old builder-grade windows than just about anything else in your home.
You can upgrade your heating and air, your appliances. That's good too. But before you do all that, upgrade your windows to Window World's energy-efficient windows.
Window World's windows are easy to clean, energy efficient, and have the best guarantee in the business.
Window World's slogan is simply the best for less, and we mean it. You get great American-made windows, and you get to keep more of your money when you buy from Window World. Need any more reasons to buy your windows from Window World? Call them today and set up your free in-home estimate, or go online to windowworldneflorida.com.
Window World, simply the best for less.
Thank you for your business.
Window World also offers energy-efficient doors.
The flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Hey everyone, Lauren Brooks here. As we kick off a brand new year, it's the perfect time to make sure your car is ready for everything 2026 brings. I trust the team at Big Chief Tire. The Parman family has been taking care of my car for years. If you want a safer, smoother ride, start with new tires from people you can count on. Visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com or call 904-932-0950 and let Big Chief help you start the year right.
Hey, I'm Tony from Tony D's Pizza. People ask me all day long, is it the water that makes the difference? Well, yes and no. Even water can't make a good pizza. It's the ingredients, too. The best tomatoes, the best flour, and the best cheese. Oh, and a lot of love. Tony D's New York Pizza, Bay Meadows and 295.
This is the home of the Florida Gators. Get your Gators hoops on 1010XL. Brought to you by the personal injury attorneys of Farah and Farah, Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville, and Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors.
Winter is in full swing, and Aleve is here to keep you moving. When the cold weather sets in, everyday aches and pains can linger, but Aleve's got your back. With up to 12 hours of body pain relief per dose, Aleve keeps you going with long-lasting body pain relief to get you through whatever the season brings. Chilly days or cozy nights, Aleve gives you that long-lasting body pain relief you can count on this winter. Try Aleve. Use as directed for minor aches and pains.
This is your This is your local sports update. I'm RJ Saunders for 1010XL. Baseball America revealed its 2026 preseason All-America teams on this morning, highlighted by Florida right-handed pitcher Liam Peterson. Peterson was among those named to the preseason college pitcher of the year watch list. The Gators are currently in week 4 of their preseason practice, with all practices and scrimmages free to attend and open to the public. Florida opens up their 2026 season at home on February 13th with the first contest of a 3-game series against UAB. Right now, 51 degrees at 11 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Now, more Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
All right, appreciate everybody who has participated so far in the Tuesday Top 5. That's what the cough button's for right there, Tony. You press it, you cough. It's less obtrusive on the radio. So I hear, anyway, or so I don't hear. Get it? All right. That's only funny to me. All right. So, Tuesday Top 5 requires a little more listener participation. We're asking you to come up with, instead of just clicking one little notch in a poll, with 5 answers to the topic of the day. And today's topic of the day asks you this. Who are your top 5 projected duos for the 2026 Jacksonville Jaguars? Any players that you include in your duos, by the way, not limited to players, but any players you include have to be guys you expect to be back with the team next season. In other words, don't say Devin Lloyd and Foye, what a duo. Oh, yeah, but we probably can't afford Lloyd, right? So if you think Lloyd's coming back, that's fine. Do whatever you like. I don't think he's coming back, but
I don't either.
I don't pull the purse strings for the Jacksonville Jaguars. So why don't we get underway and begin the countdown?
Number 5.
All right, Tony Smith, congratulations. Lead us off with the first top 5 entry of the 2026 calendar year.
Yeah, these are the guys who get the dirty work done on offense for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Okay.
And I'll say the duo for me at number 5.
Dirty work duo.
Jacoby Myers and Brenton Strange.
All right.
These guys are the guys that do all the work over the middle of the field for the offense. We know what Strange brings as a blocker as well. He's just so physical in that part of the game. We've seen multiple times this year since Jacoby got here where he would get a block on a guy and stand over him to let him know, right? Like who it was that had cleaned him off on that play. For me, number 5 on the team among the duos.
All right, our $20 million blocking wide receiver, Jacoby Myers. No, I'm with you. I like that. That's a little outside the box thinking, and these lists kind of lend themselves to that. RJ Saunders, who you got at number 5?
At number 5, you brought the head, not the head coaches, but the coordinators back. Anthony Campanelli and Grant Udinski. I think as important as some people may want to look at bringing back guys like Travis Etienne as well as Devin Lloyd because of the seasons they had. I think a level of consistency has been needed here in Jacksonville. I think when you talk about Trevor Lawrence all the time, one of the biggest things that you're talking about is he hasn't had a consistent coaching staff. It's always going to change, and it may change within the next year, but to have an extra year of this for the team, I do think that was very, very important this offseason. So for you to bring those two guys back, have the level of success that you had with those two guys the previous season, I think that's going to bode well for the Jacksonville Jaguars going into 2026.
I like that call. We spent a few weeks bemoaning the prospect of losing one or both of those guys, Tony, and particularly Campanile. I think what he was able to do to turn around this defense, number one run defense in the league, generating all those turnovers. And not that Udinski's not important. You know, it's tough to quantify how important he is as the non-play calling aspect of that offensive brain trust right there. But I like that one, RJ. I went with apologies to Ross Matisic, I'm looking at the duo of the guys that kicked the football for the Jacksonville Jaguars. In years past, Tony, we would joke and be like, you know, who are the top 5 players? And you'd start with the kicker. You'd be like, he's the only, or the punter, or both. And you'd be like, they're the ones who do their job. Just because we have more guys who are doing their job at a pretty good level, here are two guys that I'm very confident in. And Cam wasn't perfect this year. Cam Little, we think is the best kicker in the league because he's got the best range of anybody in the league. Now, Brandon Aubrey probably has pretty much equal range. It just hasn't gone through for him at that point. But Cam Little has shown he's got as good a range, if not better, than every single player in the league. His accuracy among guys who played 16 or 17 games, 8th best, which is good. But it's not mind-blowing. There's room for improvement. I think he can get there. Logan Cook, you know, is the weapon we always wanted Brian Anger to be, right? I mean, he's a weapon. He really is. I mean, Logan Cook makes a couple of punts every week where you're like, you know, and you don't think about them because they're punts. And you're like, damn, man, he pinned him at the what? At the 3? At the 5? At the whatever? He flipped the field 65 yards, whatever the case.
And how many kicks for Cam did he save as the holder?
Great point.
Right. And I told you I did the 2 separate lists. One was all players, one was everybody, right, involved. I'm going through the everybody list, but Cook and Cam were on my list of the top 5 if it was just players.
Okay. I looked at the punting numbers from last year, which when do we look at punting numbers, right?
Right.
Basically never. Logan Cook out of full-time punters last year had the 7th best net average. And you're like, all right, it's good, but well, what's the difference between 7 and number 1? Less than 2 yards. So, you know, very consistent, gets the job done, had a bunch of punts inside the 20, very few touchbacks as well, which is good because you don't want those. So, yeah, I think those 2 specialists are 2 guys that the Jags can count on wholeheartedly. All right, let's get one more.
Number 4.
All right, RJ Saunders, lead us off with your 4th submission here.
Okay, I'm going to go with the 2 cornerbacks. I'm going to go with Jarian Jones and Travis Hunter. Believe that's going to be an emerging quarterback tandem that can grow into a tandem that can stop a lot of aerial attacks. Now, I do also believe that a guy like Monteric Brown is going to be someone that they highlight and bring back for next season. You're also going to have Jordan Lewis there as well. But when I just look at the outside, I do believe that we saw the emergence of a Jarian Jones, and he's not just going to be a serviceable guy, but he is going to be a very important guy for our team. I do believe that now Travis Hunter is going to be looked at to be more of a help on the defensive side of the ball. I think those 2 guys are going to be absolutely critical if you want to have any sort of success like you had last year with this team.
We were so close on this one. I went Travis Hunter, Jordan Lewis at my number 4 spot because I feel like Jordan Lewis's role is more clearly defined in my mind. Like, I think if Jarian's more likely to get competition for his starting spot this offseason than Jordan Lewis is, to me, provided that Jordan Lewis is able to bounce back 100%. Let's not forget, Jordan Lewis and Eric Murray were like the 2 of the biggest stories of the first month of the season.
Yeah.
We just thought, these are guys, right? Just a guy. Yeah. Jags, right? Jags in the negative sense of the word. And they were more than that. They were tone setters. They were playmakers for this football team. If Travis Hunter is half of what he's been hyped up to be, well, that would make him a great corner because he's hyped up to be a great wide receiver and a corner. But you get the idea. If Travis Hunter can focus on defense, maybe he gets his offensive plays in as well. that's fantastic. But if they have a true lockdown guy in Hunter and a playmaker at nickel who can get physical with you in Jordan Lewis, whether it's Jarian Jones, or they bring back Monteric, whether they draft a couple of guys, whether they go the free agent route, we talked about this yesterday. I'm not as worried about the cornerback room, even though they have some pending free agents, Tony, because I think the top 3 guys are pretty solid, or at least project to be pretty solid.
Yeah, if I was going to pick 2 corners, which didn't wind up making my top 5s here, but if I was going to pick a duo for the team, it would have been Hunter and Lewis for me too. And that's as much about the attitude of Lewis. And I think that kind of thing is very impactful, and kind of the energy of Hunter, right, when he's on the field. Because I do think those 2 guys are banner carriers.
Time to dance.
Right? Like, those 2 guys give you that kind of thing. Number 4 for me on the list, Gladstone and Baselli. And I do think what's going to be happening inside the front office, especially in an offseason where they don't have a ton of money to spend, they have some big decisions they're going to have to make in free agency, and they have to find a way to recreate whatever they were able to get done last year with the decisions they're going to make going through this offseason. Like, I do think those 2 guys working in tandem again, and it's kind of like the special teams trio that you would like to put on there, where it would be Cook, Cam, and Matisic, right? There's only room for a duo.
Right.
So I put it as Gladstone and Baselli, but I do think their role going into this, and what they already showed us as a duo last year, and their first offseason working together, could pay huge dividends for them going into 26.
Some people mentioned front office members in their responses. Some didn't. There's no right or wrong answer. It's who you think are the duos that are going to impact the Jaguars most favorably in 2026. And there are so many. You can go Cohen and Gladstone, Baselli and Gladstone. They're different. I mean, so many. There are only so many ways you can go with 3 guys, but you get the idea. You know, you can mix and match a little bit. You could go Shad Khan and Tony Baselli, because Shad Khan ultimately has the purse strings, and Tony Baselli is like his filter to everything on the football side. I mean, it's nice that we have a variety of guys in place that we trust, and not trust blindly, trust because we saw results, at least in year 1. All right, we'll come back, continue the countdown on the Tuesday top 5. Who do you project to be the top 5 duos for the 2026 Jacksonville Jaguars? This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today from the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL. Because you're not the only car on I-95.
Look, I need a spacecraft, something that can travel 300 times the speed of light.
It's the Frangie Show.
Seatbelts.
Afternoons on 1010XL.
It's free window February with Renewal by Anderson. Right now, when you buy 4 replacement windows, you get the 5th for free. Plus, 0 down, no payments, and no interest for 1 year. This offer expires February 28th. Renewal by Anderson, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation.
License number CGC 1527613.
Jaguars Today Tuesday is serviced by Jolington Creek Pest Control.
I used to dread going to the dentist. Every visit felt like a sales pitch with constant upselling, surprise fees on my bill, and I could never get in when I needed to. But Harbor Dental Care, totally different. They saw me the next day, gave me honest pricing up front, and even set me up with a payment plan I could actually afford. No pressure, no surprise charges, just kind people who get it. If you want to experience dentistry the way it should be, book your appointment today at harbordental.care. That's HARBOUR dental.care.
XL Prime Time is back where they belong.
Wait a minute, I know where that is.
Lunch is on Josie, Matt Hayes, and Leon.
You could lay a little barbecue on us?
From the big #1 Duval Ford Studios.
But somebody else is going to have to cook it.
Noon to 2 weekdays on 1010XL.
Hello, I'm Ed Jackson, president of Ned Jackson Income Tax. Ned Jackson Income Tax has been preparing tax returns in Jacksonville for over 80 years. Our tax preparers at Ned Jackson Income Tax have years of knowledge and experience to help you get your highest possible tax refund and are fully trained on all IRS updates, including the One Big Beautiful Bill. Visit one of Ned Jackson's 4 locations, including our downtown office at 255 North Liberty Street. That's Ned Jackson Income Tax, 356-0349.
If a birthday or an anniversary is looming in your future, take care of it today by ordering a floral arrangement online at CuneFlowers.com. Hi, Flying Jacko here. Take it from me. An arrangement from Cune Flowers works like magic.
Hi, I'm Sean Monahan from Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, celebrating our 49th annual Valentine's Day sale. Come see our hand-picked inventory of thousands of pieces of fine jewelry, diamonds, and gemstones. This Valentine's Day, we have big discounts with jewelry for any budget. And with interest-free financing, you'll get the jewelry you love with a monthly payment you can afford. Monahans will also give you cash for your unwanted gold or silver, or trade it in for new jewelry and get greater value. Monahan Jewelers Valentine's Day sale with big savings in our entire inventory. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
When persistent plumbing problems leave you feeling flushed, don't panic. Call Roland Reich. They quote all pricing in advance, so your only surprise is how quickly they'll solve your issue. Roland Reich Plumbing. PlumbingJacksonville.com.
Staying active no matter your age is key to living life at its fullest. Rebound Rehabilitation wants you to know they can get you back up to speed and back in the game pain-free. Rebound Rehabilitation with a dozen locations across the First Coast with top-of-the-line therapists ready to assist you. Neck and back pain, hip, knee, or foot pain, they can help. Excellent patient care combined with the highest quality and rehabilitation services. Look for a Rebound Rehab location near you and get back in the game. ReboundRehab.com.
Checkmate. I'm Brendan Cecilia, founder of Checkmate Coatings.
And I'm Chester, company mascot at your service.
There are two important steps to installing the perfect garage floor. The two-stage coating application, sure, but nothing is more important than preparing the floor. Our team uses diamond grinding machines to grind your floors to a smooth, level finish. Only then can we...
Hold on! You grind garage floors with perfectly lovely diamonds?
No, Chester. We grind floors to perfection using the very best ugly diamonds. Too ugly for jewelry, but perfect for the grinding pads we use to prep the surface.
Perfect preparation and application. Now that's a perfect marriage.
Ugly diamonds?
Check. Perfect preparation?
Check. Smooth, gorgeous, gleaming floors that really catch your eye? Checkmate! Transforming your floors, making them great. Checkmate. Visit checkmatecoatings.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Everything you need to know about the Jags. Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
Who do we feel represent the number one duo for the Jacksonville Jaguars for 2026? Define it how you like, and many of you have. We'll look at your responses coming up here before we get out of here. Some interesting ones out there, like guys that I don't have on my list. Antonio Johnson and Eric Murray. That's interesting. What about Antonio Johnson and Caleb Ransaw?
Right.
As a potential, like, duo in the fact that they're linked, because I don't know how they're both going to get on the field all the time, or maybe they will and they'll play a lot of that three safety look.
Yeah.
Tone, but
I thought about what to do with a bunch of the different kind of pairings that you could have on defense, right? And like I said, I didn't wind up having any of the corners on my list, right? But there was an impetus in my mind. It was like, well, I think Travis Hunter is going to be their best corner. Who do I pair him with? Right? Like that kind of thing. It was just difficult for me to figure out exactly what that pairing would be. Like I said, if I had chosen one, it would have been Hunter and Lewis.
You could go Hunter and Antonio Johnson and say playmaking guys in the secondary. Right?
And I get it as, and I would take it as a vote of confidence in Johnson's role is only going to expand. It's not going to contract with Caleb Ransaw being placed in there somewhere. You know, trying to figure out exactly what they're going to do with Caleb Ransaw, who they were willing to spend a third-round pick on last year, right, to come in and play free safety for him. That was the idea. Well, what does that role look like in year two after not having played as a rookie?
Correct.
For the football team. That is a big question, especially with the kind of season that Antonio had. He was a playmaker.
Ask and you shall receive. I just saw, and these were ones that were submitted yesterday, Johnson and Ransaw for Cody, for Irv as well. Had both of those guys in as a combo. Let's continue our countdown.
Number 3.
RJ Saunders.
Number 3 for me is going to be your two edge rushers, Trayvon Walker and Josh Hines-Allen. Now, I do believe that you need an extra pass rusher. Of course, you need
Myles
help.
Garrett.
Hopefully, let's see if
Trey
we can get somebody.
Just wish casting.
You're also going to need help on the inside in terms of defensive tackle, but I do believe that the pass rushing has to be highlighted by these two guys. Whether you want to make the decision that you're going to move Trayvon inside or you're going to keep him outside, I think these two guys have to be able to be better than what they were this past season in terms of getting to the quarterback. Of course, they do need help. They can't do it all by themselves. But when it comes to this defense, it does have to be highlighted by these two guys because you're ultimately saying that these two are going to be your future of that defense. Trayvon Walker more so once you decide to give him a contract extension. So those are my two in terms of my number 3 position for most important duos going into 2026.
Ohio Jags fan. Just don't think I don't read these. I read them all, right? We don't always have time to mention them all. But the rushing duo of Josh Hines-Allen and Trayvon playing inside as a defensive tackle, playing next to each other. I don't know. We'll see it sometimes. We won't see it all that much. But, all right, we'll pause on that one because we might have something else to say. I certainly will about that duo coming up. But number 3 for me, I went with Cole Van Lannon and Anton Harrison, the likely starting offensive tackles for this team. You'll find a variety of opinions on who the best offensive lineman on this team is. They believe in Cole Van Lannon. The infrastructure, the front office, they rewarded him with the contract that signifies he will be starting somewhere. I think the only question is he starting at right tackle or left tackle? And do we finally see Anton make the flip? Maybe we don't. I don't know. But I feel pretty comfortable with those guys. Are they the best pair of tackles in the league? No. But I think they are more than serviceable. What did we ask going into the season last year? Give us a middle-of-the-pack offensive line. I think they were slightly better than that last year. Some games they were exceptional, but I have a lot of confidence in Cole Van Lannon. And who knows? Maybe there will be times where they end up playing next to each other and Cole Van Lannon plays some guard next year. But I think one of those guys is likely your starting left tackle. The other guy's your starting right tackle. And that's likely the way it stays, barring injury for most of the year.
I have Hines-Allen and Trayvon.
Okay.
At number 3 on my list. I think if you go through and just look at the roster on defense and you just power rank them, like who the best players on that side of the ball are, I think Hines-Allen's probably at the top of the list, right? As your best player on that side of the ball, and Trayvon's no worse than what, 4?
If he's that far
If he's
now.
even that low. So if there are 2 of your top 3 players on that side of the ball, then yeah, I'd say they would be one of your better duos on the football team if they're playing the same position to complement one another while they're doing it on top of that. Are either of them the guys that I expect to every year be the 15-sack guy? No, right? They don't have that necessarily.
Not
on
the every
roster.
year guy,
right?
no.
Like it's just not going to be that kind of thing every year, but it doesn't diminish how good of players they are on a team that they need to. If they could add somebody that adds that to it, then I'd be all in favor of adding that kind of thing to it. That is not easy to find as the roster is currently built, and I think it'll look going into 2026. Hines-Allen and Trayvon are the best duo they have on the defensive side of the ball for me, and good enough to be number 3 on my list.
Yeah, like I said, I'll talk more about them coming up, but if they can get to like that 20-sack threshold, that would be a nice improvement. 25 is within their wheelhouse of reaching as a combined sack total, so let's continue the countdown.
Number 2.
Shockingly, I have Josh Hines-Allen and Trayvon Walker at number 2. A lot of the same reasons you're discussing, right? You could make an argument that they're the best 2 players on that entire side of the ball. Yeah. They are a duo, right? Whether they always perform at the same level or what have you, and they have different strengths to their games. But, you know, could it be Josh Hines-Allen and somebody else and Trayvon playing more of an interior role? It could be, but I think they're more likely to find that or seek out that veteran third pass rusher. If they don't find one in the draft that falls in their lap, last year they were said to like Ashton Galati out of Louisville. And he was one of the guys, along with R.J. Harvey, who the running back who went to Denver. When those 2 guys came off the board in the second round, that freed them up mentally to trade back from the top of the third, picking up those extra. They got the pick, and they got the extra 2/3 this year from Detroit. So if they hadn't made that move, you'd be sitting here with 1 second, 1/3, nowhere near the firepower you'd have to move up if you really want to make that big splash. But, yeah, look, 2 of the arguably 5 best players on the team, you could argue they're two of the three best players on the team if you wanted to, right? And when they play up to their full potential. So, phenomenal potential. I hope they realize the sack numbers again this year. So that's number 2 for me. You guys had it at 3.
Yep. Number 2 for me, Trevor Lawrence and
dun, 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 dun,
Parker Washington.
Bing!
Yeah.
Ding, 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 ding.
Obviously, there's a debate, and I've seen a lot of people that have posted, the BTJ combination with Trevor Lawrence. And
I've
this
seen Myers
thing.
with Trevor.
Myers a little bit in that thing as well. But after what we saw from Parker Washington playing with Trevor over the last 6 weeks of the season last year, as we've talked about, he was on pace for what, a 1,300-yard season? Like that kind of thing. He's going to have production as the one, I think, in the Jaguars offense in 2026, right? He's not the athlete that Brian Thomas Jr. is, but he is a guy that I think there is a real comfort level with Trevor Lawrence and Parker Washington right now in the offense. I expect him to have a full season playing at the kind of level that he had last year. And if you get that from him, then I think that duo will be their most dynamic in the pass thrower and catcher options that they have on the roster right now.
Do you remember what Parker Washington ran for his 40?
4.46 or something.
4.49.
Yeah.
4.49, which is not slow,
No.
right? We could condition on these tenths of a seconds. If that second number's a 3, then you're a blazer, you know? And obviously that's the case with Brian Thomas.
There's enough of these kind of guys in the league that are dynamic in the offenses that they're in. Parker Washington looking like Amon-Ra St. Brown, good, right? Good. Then maybe you found your Amon-Ra St. Brown. That's okay for me. I would love for it to be Brian Thomas Jr. because of what he can do threatening down the field. I would love for that to be where this lands. But you're asking me where I expect it to land? Going into 2026, it's Trevor and Parker.
All right, Trevor and Parker. And number 2 on your list of duos.
Now, you said I do have to admit if someone took ours.
Well, if they took it, say what you have to say about it.
Okay, well,
I mean,
Trevor
if you're
Parker,
not getting to it yet.
Yeah, I'm not getting to it yet.
Okay.
But for my number 2, even if it's just going to be for one more year, Travis Etienne and Bashal Tutin.
You think Etienne's back?
I think Etienne's back for one more year.
Breaking news from the desk of R.J. Saunders.
Yeah,
If I thought Etienne was coming back, he would be at 3 probably on my list, but yeah.
I think he's going to be coming back for one more year. I think in the realm of the NFL, we've seen it a lot, and with plenty of other teams, you do need a rushing duo here. And I do believe that Liam Cohen is going to look at a guy in Travis Etienne in the offseason and tell Gladstone and company in the front office, I need him back for one more year. If we're not able to get a guy who can do both out of the backfield, whether that be in free agency or whether that even be in the draft. But if you are going to be looking into free agency, to Mike's point last week, you might as well just bring back the guy who you had in your building just this past season. I believe that both of those guys having one more year together, I think, is going to help the offense and their potency going into 2026 and having a deep run in which we expect for them to have this next season.
RJ! Love it. Good stuff there. All right, so I wasn't willing to go that route. I'm trying to go with guys that I'm very confident. I leave the door open for that possibility, and then a re-ranking post free agency and the draft on what we expect. Which, mental note, R.J. Saunders, to remind me, because I ain't gonna remember. All right, I certainly am not. All right, look at Cobalt Blue here on Twitter says, "Man, listen to these other choices. I missed so many good ones. OC and DC, Gladstone and Baselli, Cole Van Lannon and Anton." Hey, we're the same way. We're looking at your submissions. We're like, oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one. We've got our number 1 to reveal. Somebody, by the way, went with Trevor and Tutin next year. Just basically your offensive backfield. I mean, there's really no wrong answer as long as you're not getting stupid with it. I mean, come on. But even then, guys have surprised us from down the depth chart, and this is an organization that shows you they're going to try to play guys on merit. Everyone says that, but they showed that last year with the guys that they elevated into the starting lineup, with the guys that they paid and decided they're not producing, and we'll push them off to the side. All right, timeout here. Come back with the golden moment, the number 1 in the countdown for the first Tuesday top 5 of 2026, your top 5 duos for the Jags this year. This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today for the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. It's different here.
I can't tell you how glad it makes me to hear you say that.
Sports talk for the First Coast.
That's what I'm talking about.
1010XL, Jacksonville Sports Radio.
This is the kind of sandwich you don't rush. French dip at Firehouse Subs. Premium roast beef loaded with caramelized onions, melted provolone cheese, and topped with Italian seasoning. Stacked on a toasted garlic bread roll with hot au jus for dipping. For a limited time at Firehouse Subs.
I'm Carl. I'm 68 years old, and I lost 40 pounds thanks to Awaken 180 weight loss. In looking at pictures, I realized that my color wasn't good. I looked bloated, constantly tired, out of breath. It got to the point where I decided it was time to pick up the phone and call Awaken 180. The combination of the diet and the coaching really pushed me over the top. My self-confidence soared. I'm walking, I'm working out. Instead of 68, I feel like I'm 28. I just had my annual physical, and my doctor looked at my blood pressure and he said, "What did you do? What happened?" And I explained that I'm on the Awaken 180 program. I've never felt so good in my life. And as somebody that sometimes likes to take the shortcut, I didn't have to do that with this program. Awaken 180 is my solution for weight loss.
Carl's solution for weight loss. My daughter Amber's solution for weight loss. Lowered blood pressure, increased confidence, feeling years younger. Not a temporary fix, a solution. Want the same results? Then choose Awaken 180 online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Jaguars Today Tuesday, kept pest-free by Julington Creek Pest Control.
When you head out for a night with friends or going to the big game, don't forget the best game plan to win the night is to designate a driver and guarantee a safe ride home. Hydrating between buds is the best play you can make. Bud Light, reminding all to drink wiser.
Royal Pest Services, a local company you can trust. Royal Pest is a certified installer of tap insulation, which stands for thermal, acoustic, and pest control. Reduce that electric bill by adding pest protection. It's that easy. Online at royalpestservices.com.
It all begins with Speed Weeks, presented by Advent Health, February 11th, and culminates with a Daytona 500 on February 15th. This week, you can win a pair of tickets to the Daytona 500. What driver won the 2025 Daytona 500? Text the driver's last name to 641-1010. What driver won the 2025 Daytona 500? Text the driver's last name answer to 641-1010 for a chance to win tickets to the Daytona 500, February 15th.
Pick it here for Oceanside Cleaners, the very best in dry cleaning service. Free pickup and delivery, or use their self-service kiosk in Ponte Vedra and Southside for drop-off and pickup. Dry cleaning, laundry, bedding, and bridal gown preservation. If it's got fabric, they can clean it. Oceanside Cleaners.
Want a one-stop shop when it comes to commercial or residential construction? Then pick Preferred Builders. They should be high on your list. Over 70 years of construction experience combined with exceptional product and service warranties. They've got a team ready to tackle any size project. In fact, they built their business in Duval by offering superior work at reasonable prices, and reputation over time means something. Honest and knowledgeable, reliable and responsive. Be sure and put Preferred Builders into your game plan for your next construction project. That's Preferred Builders.
We've all been there. You hear about an incredible event Monday morning, but it happens Sunday. Stop missing out. Jacksonville is the flip side of Florida, and we have the solution. From under-the-radar sporting events to the perfect family outing or date night, Visit Jacksonville is your all-access pass to the city. Plan your 2026 season at visitjacksonville.com/locals. visitjacksonville.com/locals. Or download the Visit Jax app for the full lineup. See what you've been missing.
Hi, I'm Kathleen Spears, Executive Director of Waste Not, Want Not. With support from the players, we're rescuing food and fighting hunger in Northeast Florida every day. Only 35 days until the players.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Now, the Monahan's golden moment. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, your local family jewelers.
What could be more golden than finishing in first place on a respective list of duos? The golden moment has arrived. It's the Tuesday Top 5. By the way, we like to keep it on the Jags, but we do recognize that you run out of material sometimes. Like we've got a list of things to exhaust, but you hit a point where you're like, we want to mix it up. And we'll throw in maybe a pop culture top 5 or a personal preference top 5 or something along those lines. But if you have Jaguar-related top 5, hit us up. Email me, MikeD@1010XL.com. You can always tweet me. Hit us up on the text line with an idea that you've got for a Tuesday top 5. We'd love to hear it, and we might just incorporate that. So we're on to the final number in the countdown.
Number 1.
I believe, Tony, your turn. Is that right?
I believe that's correct.
Why not?
My list from 5 to 1, Jacoby Myers and Britton Strange at 5, Gladstone and Baselli at 4, Josh Hines Allen and Trayvon Walker at 3, Trevor and Parker Washington at 2, and number 1 duo for the Jacksonville Jaguars. If they're going to be a Maserati, it's because this engine drives them, and that is head coach and quarterback. Liam Cohen, Trevor Lawrence, number 1 on the list, and I don't think it's particularly close to number 2 as far as how dynamic I think that duo will be.
I chose to focus my list on players. That would have been my number 1 as well. I mean, how can it not be the most important thing? Everybody else is available to some degree. You know what I mean? Like, you're not moving off your quarterback once he's shown you that he's your quarterback. And any kind of doubts or hesitations or anything that Liam Cohen and the staff had, I think were answered in spades this year. If you think, the ones that Jags ain't going anywhere until they get rid of Trevor Lawrence. Got that, I can't tell you how many times. This year in 2025, well, I guess winning the division's not and going to the playoffs is not anywhere. Well, they didn't win the Super Bowl. Well, if that's the case, then the Jags have never been good. Okay, they're never good ever because they've never been to the Super Bowl, right? So there are degrees of performance, but having the head coach quarterback combo is the most important combo you can have right now in the National Football League.
Yeah, and they got one.
If you've got that kind of symbiotic relationship, it may not always be quite the case. Like, there could be cases where it's an OC in the quarterback if you've got a defensive-minded head coach, I think, but that's not our circumstance.
Yeah, I don't think that's the answer in Houston if they're doing this kind of list today, right? But it is in Jacksonville.
For us, absolutely. I'm with you 100%. All right, so the Cohen-Lawrence combo is your top duo, RJ.
That was my honorable mention just because I thought one of you were going to say it, so I didn't want to put it in the list. However, I did not believe that Tony was going to take my number 1 answer and utilize that as his number 2, Trevor Lawrence and Parker Washington. I do also not want to omit the fact that, yes, Jacoby Myers was important. You're also signing him to a long-term deal. I think Brian Thomas Jr. is due for a huge turnaround in 2026. But the Parker Washington Open, the reason why I played that is because I think this guy is going to be as important, if not one of the most important factors for Trevor Lawrence in order for him to have the season that we saw him have last year. What we saw Parker Washington do and him wanting to also now strengthen that relationship between he and Trevor Lawrence. We saw the workout videos with guys such as Brian Thomas Jr. and also Travis Hunter with Trevor Lawrence when they were down there at Episcopal. I do believe that now you are going to see Parker Washington in that mix where he's going to be a part of those workout sessions because Trevor Lawrence, I do believe this is what Christian Kirk was to him, being his favorite target when he was here in Jacksonville. I think Parker Washington now moves into that slot. I think if you have a stronger dynamic between those two, it's watch out for the rest of the NFL.
I think that you and Tony are prisoners of the moment, of having great recency bias. You've got all these options. You go Trevor and Jacoby, Trevor and Britton Strange, Trevor and BTJ. I also went Trevor and Parker Washington at number 1. So I'm right there with you. I am. Tony knew where I was headed with that. There was no question that I was going right to the same place when I started that spiel. I mean, look, there is some degree of being a prisoner of the moment here, right? If we look at this as the final day of the season.
Yeah, it's a fun moment.
Okay, it is fun, but the season just ended, okay? And it ended a few weeks ago, but nothing's changed. The season just ended.
Yeah.
6 weeks prior, it would have been Jacoby Myers in that spot, 100%, right? Like, we're saying, best thing that Trevor Lawrence can get for Christmas is a Jacoby Myers contract extension. He changed the dynamic of that room. But Parker Washington became more than just a concept of a guy who can change the dynamic. Great set of hands. Parker Washington, he had a couple of drops this year. He also made some spectacular catches. Ended the season with games of 145, 115, 87, and 107 yards. So his 3 100-yard games came in the last month of the season. And you want to talk about a springboard for next year. How do you not feature him in the passing game?
Right.
Tony, what is my mental depth chart at wide receiver is Parker Washington, Jacoby Myers, Brian Thomas Jr. And I don't know how they're going to utilize Travis Hunter. So he's kind of other, incomplete question mark where he's going to fit in. But that's how I look at those guys right now. Brian Thomas is very important to what they do. He does stretch a field. He does occupy top coverage. But Parker Washington is out there not only making plays, and granted, we did this as a duo with him and the quarterback, but what he gives you as a return guy, if you opt to keep him in that role, was also fantastic. Had 3 taken in the house, 1 wiped out due to penalty. So he's got big play potential. We talked about it all down the stretch when Parker Washington caught the ball this year. 10 yards past the line of scrimmage, he turned into a punt returner. And he put guys on skates out there. And, he is built compactly. He has proven that he has sticky hands in those tight throws in the end zone when he's getting hit. I mean, other than having a few inches of height, what more do you want out of Parker Washington? And maybe another 10th off his 40 time, but you're not going to build the perfect player. And if you had that, you wouldn't get Parker Washington on the 3rd day of the draft.
No.
And look, he is average, 14.6 a catch, I want to say, this year. He was, 14.6 on a steady climb from 8.3, 12.2, now to 14.6 with the 5 receiving touchdowns, and he added another one in the postseason this year. Number 1 on my list. Number 1 on yours when you just factored only players in. Number 1 on RJ's as well. Are we prisoners of the moment? To some degree, admittedly so. But that's where we're at. This is the moment we find ourselves in. Let's go around the National Football League.
Now, Gems Around the NFL. Brought to you by Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jax Beach.
A familiar face is returning to the AFC South. The Tennessee Titans are hiring Gus Bradley as their new defensive coordinator. Bradley worked with new Titans head coach Robert Saleh in San Francisco last year. LA Rams head coach Sean McVay said yesterday that after he and general manager Les Snead signed their contract extensions there with the Rams, that quarterback Matthew Stafford will not need surgery for a herniated disc that he suffered in his back this year. McVay also said that he's hopeful and has his fingers crossed regarding Stafford choosing to play another year for the Rams, with Stafford being mentioned among a few Rams players that are reportedly at least considering retirement this offseason. And the Pro Bowl games are tonight at 8. Everybody strap in. The AFC quarterbacks are Joe Burrow, Shedeur Sanders, and Joe Flacco. Justin Fields was reportedly offered a spot but refused. That's how deep down the list in the AFC they had to go for tonight. On the NFC side, the quarterbacks will be Jalen Hurts, Jared Goff, and Dak Prescott. One of these things does not look like the other.
Man, and again, poor Shedeur Sanders, right? Just like you get invited, what are you going to do? You say no? Oh, Shedeur Sanders, too good for the Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
Right? You say yes, then it's everything we've got. Well, how did he get invited? Who did they skip over? Now we found out they skipped over a guy who didn't even keep his own job.
Yeah.
With the Jets on a horrible, oh my gosh. Shedeur Sanders probably wishing that Justin Fields had gotten invited. And then he could be like, okay, I don't know. That's beyond me. I didn't get the call. So
Shedeur Sanders and Joe Flacco being at the Pro Bowl is
2 Cleveland Brown quarterbacks, baby.
It's a moment in time.
Dylan Gabriel, that's all we're missing. Could have had a clean sweep if they had gone deep enough. We could have had the trio. Would have been mind-bending. All right, let's come back and look at the submissions that we can get to here for the Tuesday Top 5 2026 projected duos for your Jacksonville Jaguars. We'll wrap it up next on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today.
For the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. 1010XL. Live streaming from the XL Digital Studios. Brightened by Harbor Dental Care. Jacksonville's first choice for dental emergencies.
Have you got concrete or asphalt rubble piling up? Arcosa Crushed Concrete will pay you for it and recycle it. They're just minutes from Everbank Stadium on Talleyrand. Call Arcosa Crushed Concrete and get paid for what you don't need. ArcosaCrushedConcrete.com.
It's Cancer Prevention Month, and Ackerman Urology reminds you to stay ahead of prostate, bladder, and kidney health. Get a yearly checkup, ask about a screening, and make self-checks a habit. To make an appointment at one of 4 locations, visit AckermanUrology.com.
Jaguars Today Tuesday.
Protected by Killington Creek Pest Control. Our family serving yours since 1984.
If you're tired of weekend projects turning into weekend disasters, you're not alone. Building a fence isn't as easy as it looks. And let's face it, your neighbor still hasn't fixed his lopsided masterpiece. But Superior Fence and Rail makes it easy. Highly trained professionals, top quality materials, and a fence you'll love for years to come. Skip the stress and call the pros today.
When you're on the fence, about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
Finding the perfect romantic gift she'll treasure forever? It's easier than you think at Beard's Diamonds this Valentine's Day. We've curated a stunning selection of timeless, affordable jewelry she'll absolutely love. Dazzling rings, sparkling earrings, elegant pendants and bracelets, set with brilliant diamonds or colorful gemstones. Classic gold that never goes out of style. And you can't beat the wow factor of top brand designer jewelry. At Beard's, we've got it all under one roof. And right now, we're cranking up the romance with an unbeatable limited time offer. Save up to 40% on all diamond stud earrings, pendants, and tennis bracelets. Imagine her face lighting up when she opens that signature Beards box on February 14th. Pure magic that lasts a lifetime. Guys, cards, flowers, and candy are sweet, but nothing says I love you forever like a sparkling gift she'll wear and cherish every single day. And that gift is on major sale right now. Plus, Beards is your local Jacksonville jeweler, family owned and community strong for over 45 years. Right here in the St. John's Town Center. Not some Wall Street chain. We're your neighbors, and we're here for you. Hurry in today. Don't wait. Beards Diamonds, St. John's Town Center.
Valentine's Day is sweet, but let's be honest, your septic tank wants attention too. Because when it gets ignored, it doesn't sulk, it causes problems, big ones. That's why Duck Duck Rooter, the only master septic contractor in Northeast Florida, is rolling out the Show Your Septic Some Love promotion. Right now, get $50 off septic tank pumping when you book by February 28th. Give your septic a little love now so it doesn't make a big scene later. When you start, call the Duck, 904-862-6769, duckduckrooter.com.
Brian Wall here. Would you take your paycheck, go to the bank, cash it, and then simply throw it up in the air? I didn't think so. But in a way, over the years, that is exactly what you're doing if you have old or builder-grade windows in your home. Even if you have a brand new home, those windows are not the best windows you can have to save on your energy bills. Window World has sold millions of replacement windows to homeowners like you, and Window World's customer satisfaction is the highest in the business. Please check Window World out yourself and save on your new windows and on your energy bills. Compare with other companies and you'll see Window World is simply the best for less. It's up to you. You can call Window World and get a free estimate, get the best guarantee in the window replacement business, save money on your new windows, and save more on your energy bills. Call Window World today at 904-443-7001 or go online to windowworldneflorida.com. Thank you for your business.
Window World also offers energy-efficient doors. Get your tickets for the Tom Coughlin J Fund Wine Tasting Gala. Join Super Bowl winning coach Tom Coughlin at VyStar Ballpark Thursday, March 5th and raise a glass to help local families tackling childhood cancer. Enjoy hundreds of wines from around the world and food from top local restaurants. Buy tickets and learn more at tcjfund.org/wine. tcjfund.org/wine.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Everything you need to know about the Jags. Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
I was just watching us on the streaming video there, Tony, and we looked like low-rent synchronized swimmers. We lift our headsets, put them on at the same time. We were very in sync doing that. R.J. Saunders, I made it through the show without calling you by a former producer's name today. So we dodged a Tyler Devitt bullet today. So far, I've called you Dylan Denmark and E.T. And I've known you longer than Denmark.
Right.
And close to as long as E.T.
Right.
But not quite as long. Tomorrow,
it may be Hacker.
Tomorrow, now we're going to try to avoid Arlie Johnson's name coming up on the program.
Ooh, Arlie Johnson.
Good guy. Love Arlie Johnson.
Yes, Jacksonville Iceman.
Voice of the Iceman. Yeah.
Arlie Johnson, yes.
Former producer for 1010XL.
Yeah, that threw me for a loop.
And you apparently don't know all the lore.
No.
Man. What about Les? Did you know Les?
I did not.
The salesman?
No.
He's up in the attic.
Hiding?
No, he's dead.
Wow.
Yeah, well, I mean, he was a little older. He was prone to filling his Sprite bottle with not Sprite during the day. And back in the day, we were not as benevolent. We didn't just fire people. We sent them up to the attic, and they were never heard from again. So
See, I thought when you were making a reference to attic, you were talking about like the upper room, meaning
no. Well, that
in the
too.
sky.
Yeah. Well, I mean, literally, it's both. But he literally in the attic, probably a mummified corpse at this point, is my guess.
Ooh, we do that here?
Well, we don't anymore.
We hide bodies?
As far as you know.
Was it an inside job?
It was a thing back in the day. I can't really get into it. We lived in we broadcast from a rougher part of town back then. It's amazing how much better Hogan Road got when we moved across the street, by the way, right? We had what was that tone? Like what was that, a crack house or a meth house or something? Was it meth?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, crack soap. 80s.
I'm pretty sure based
a little
on
Breaking Bad action.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure based on it going up in flames that day, that feels more like a meth
Yeah,
house.
it does feel more like a meth thing. Although I don't know, maybe crack labs go up in flames as well. Anyway, RJ, we'll teach you all the lore with your time here. Here's another RJ Ware 89 on the X platform. Goes with Hunter and Lewis. We had that. Josh Hines, Allen, and Walker. Yep. Tootin and Allen in the backfield. Cole Van Lannon, and then Anton, Trevor, and Brian Thomas. Scott went with Logan Cook and Cam. Trevor and Parker. Tootin and the offensive line. Travis Hunter and Jordan Lewis. Hines, Allen, and Walker. Very popular combo there. Let's see. Cobalt Blue, Jacoby and Parker. Josh Hines, Allen, and Trayvon. Strange and Trevor. Hunter and Jarian, and Devon Hamilton and whatever defensive tackle that they draft. By the way, got this on the text line. Why does everyone think the Jags have to prioritize D-line so much? This is from Chris in Ponte Vedra. We had the number one run D. Everyone seems to agree the pairing of Trayvon and Josh Hines Allen is elite. They're high on your list. I wouldn't say it's National Football League elite, but it's good. It's very good. And for our potential duos, yeah, we like them. Does a pass rusher come in and move Trayvon inside if we go edge? Or do they expect the interior guys to help the pass rush push more? Or are we just thinking ahead to replace Armstead? I think it's a somewhat all of that kind of thing. If you could find the next 3 technique. I mean, what's Armstead here for? 1 more year, basically.
Yeah.
So I think that's part of it. And obviously we overshot on what they felt about the defensive tackle position last year because they didn't really address it.
Yeah, I thought we had the conversations a few weeks ago about the Hunter thing, and I said I'm kind of in a wait and see with where I think his biggest impact is going to be based on whatever they do in the offseason, right? We haven't gotten into the offseason yet. I have an idea of what my plan would be with Hunter going into the offseason. That doesn't mean it's going to be their plan, and I kind of feel the same way with Walker and whether or not he's going to be moved around anywhere on the defensive line. I think everyone has an idea in their head of what the answer to that is going to be. I think the Jaguars have an idea, but I think their idea is going to be so flexible at this point with what that might be, given the options that they might or might not have in the draft and free agency, that I don't think they go into it saying, we got to get a defensive end so that we can push Trayvon inside. I don't think that's what they say. I think there may be a defensive end that they look at and say, we like him, we can push Trayvon inside. Right, like
not specifically seeking it out, but if it happens,
that way, they're going to be flexible enough with it to put their best players on the field and give them an opportunity to be great. But it's not going to be we got to move Trayvon.
All right, last one here that I'll mention because it was a little more outside the box. The combo of running behind right guard Wyatt Milam and right tackle Cole Van Lannon. So he's anticipating a flip of Anton to the other side.
Right there,
It is calling shots right there. But who knows?
Yeah.
I was reading a piece on McCary today, and it wasn't great. Didn't grade out very well, at least by the national guys who put those scores on, like PFF. But we shall see. They do like his versatility, just like we do with Joe C. and XL Primetime.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnik. Nimnik Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnik Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
Greetings, Joe C.
If you're average at a lot of things, versatility is key.
Versatility, right? You got to keep that average somewhere right there in the middle.
Jack of all trades, master of none.
Average Joe, baby. What is coming up today on the Anything But Average XL Primetime?
Yeah, definitely going to hit on a lot of things. Leon with Super Bowl memories is always fun. We're going back, and he may even have a Zach Thomas story that he will tell a little bit later on. But then also a few things coming out of the transfer portal, the top rankings, like Ty Simpson as an example. Right now is getting a second-round grade, and he made like $6.5 million. At least that was the offer.
Right. Would you not just stick around for another year?
Exactly. He never should have left.
And maybe sneak your way into the first round. Yeah. Although next year's class is supposed to, you're getting a second-round grade in a terrible quarterback class. You got to factor that in as well.
Yeah, yeah. And so it's not complimentary for him. But anyway, we'll get into a handful of those things. And then obviously still leftover stuff. Super Bowl props. We've been having fun with those all week long.
Look, here is the top 5 that we need from you. All right? Top 5 Super Bowl week parties that you've talked your way into without a ticket, credential, or invite. Okay?
The two that jump to mind, top of the line, are here locally, the Hawaiian Tropic, all the way out there at the Continental on the other side of the Buckman.
Okay.
Why would you want to go to the Hawaiian Tropic?
I
couldn't
no
imagine.
idea.
Needed sunscreen.
It was a bikini contest, Tony. It was a bikini contest, and it was something. And then Magic Johnson's party up in Atlanta. That one I definitely remember.
Was there a bikini contest?
No, there wasn't. But Magic never showed.
Not that Joe will tell you. All right. Magic didn't show to his own party?
Well, I was there till like 2:30 in the morning, and he never showed.
Bro,
so yeah, you're right.
He's showing up at 4.
He's just rising at that point.
Kidding me? Right. Getting up from his pregame nap.
Yeah,
all right. Well, Joey, have a great show. A
right,
lot of memories and other things to dig into today, so have a good one, bud. All right, XL Primetime coming your way for the next couple of hours with Joe C. and the crew. That will do it for us today. We'll endeavor tomorrow, if the schedule works out, we'll get a Tennessee Titans guest in as we want to, kind of keep an eye on the plan for the offseason for the other AFC South squads. We talked about the Texans last week with John McClain.
Tony Pauline tomorrow?
Oh, we do have Tony Pauline tomorrow. That's right. Tony Pauline in the second hour. He's going to be talking Senior Bowl and East-West Shrine game and just some baseline draft stuff to get us started. Good call on that one, Tony. So going to be loaded on the program tomorrow. Thanks for listening today. For Tony Smith and RJ Saunders, I'm Mike Dempsey. This has been Jaguars Today. Back again tomorrow from 10 to noon on 1010XL and 92.9